of racing, Daytona International Speedway, where today 12 of the world's greatest race drivers will compete for 100 miles on this massive 2.5-mile high-banked oval. Hello everyone, I'm Jerry Punch. We're so glad you could join us for this, the 24th year of IROC. The concept for the International Race of Champions is quite simple. You take 12 championship caliber drivers invited from other series, put them in identically prepared, identically tuned Pontiac Firebirds, and now with all the cars the same, the only determinant as to who goes to victory lane is an individual driver's skill and degree of daring. Today's starting lineup was determined by a blind draw, and take a look who will lead the charge down to the green flag. 7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt. 5 of Dale Earnhardt's 10 career IROC Series wins have come here at Daytona, including last year's last lap spectacular heroics in this very race.
Here they come off the corner. Earnhardt goes to the inside. The line is formed behind him. He's got the push. Here it is. Dale Earnhardt wins it. Wow, the classic Intimidator move. Just a few hundred feet from the finish line. What a great year for Dale Earnhardt at IROC last year. He won 3 of the 4 races and won the championship by just 1 single point. Now we enter IROC 24. This will be the 93rd race overall and the 20th here at Daytona. Now, because of scheduling conflicts, there will be drivers from 3 divisions represented, 8 from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, 1 from the NASCAR Busch Series, and 3 from the Northern Light Indy Racing League. Let's find out how they'll line up for this first race of the new millennium. In the front row from NASCAR Winston Cup, Dale Earnhardt and Tony Stewart. Earnhardt is the defending IROC and race winner here at Daytona. Stewart is in his 2nd IROC Series. Row number 2 from the NASCAR Busch Series, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and from the Northern Light Indy Racing League, Eddie Cheever. Earnhardt is in his 2nd IROC Series. Cheever won the 1998 Indy 500. Row 3 from NASCAR Winston Cup, Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon. Labonte finished 2nd here last year in IROC. Gordon is in his 6th straight International Race of Champions Series. Row 4, 2 from the Northern Light Indy Racing League, Greg Ray and Mark Dismore. Ray is the defending IRL champion, and Dismore is in his rookie IROC season. Row 5 from Winston Cup, Mark Martin and Dale Jarrett. Martin is a 4-time IROC champion. Jarrett won the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup. And in row 6 from Winston Cup, Jeff Burton and Rusty Wallace. Burton was 2nd in the 1998 IROC race here at Daytona. Rusty is in his 9th IROC season. He was champ in '91. Working with me in the booth today, representing 4 NASCAR Winston Cup titles, Benny Parsons, and the newest member of our ABC ESPN team, Ray Evernham.
Bob mentioned just 3 drivers from the IRL, 9 basically drivers from the NASCAR Winston Cup and the Busch Series. Ray, do these guys from IRL have a chance?
Well, Benny, they've got a better chance than they would if the NASCAR guys could set the cars up the way they want them, but they couldn't. Jay Signori and his guys set them up so that they all drive the same. And, you know, there was a time when the open-wheel guys actually had a handle on Daytona Speedway. Guess who the first stock car driver to win a race was here in 1976?
Who's that?
A guy named Benny Parsons, and he beat Mario Andretti and A.J. Foyt.
Well, the engines have been fired, and 12 drivers get set to go 40 laps, 100 miles at the World Center of Racing, as the opener for IROC 24 is about to go from Daytona International Speedway.
ESPN Classics 3 Days of 3 is presented by Martin Scorsese's The Aviator, in theaters everywhere this Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Hughes.
He saw the future.
Let's build a plane that flies above the weather, across the country, across the world.
If you do that, you could lose everything.
Well, I won't.
He lived the dream.
You like a little adventure? Do your worst, Mr. Hughes.
I have heard some disquieting rumors about Mr. Hughes. I'd like to know everything there is to know.
My investigators have turned up a lot of dirt.
We are in a street fight, and I'm not going to lose. He owns Pan Am, he owns Congress, but he does not own the sky.
Beyond the wealth,
You want me to bribe senators?
I don't want them bribed, Jack. I want them bought.
something drove him
You have called me a liar and a thief.
beyond the legend.
Federal warrant.
They're touching things.
Is the truth behind the man.
I'll get a doctor. No one sees him like this.
Sometimes I truly fear that I'm losing my mind.
A Martin Scorsese picture. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Blanchett, Kate Beckinsale, Alec Baldwin.
She'll go faster.
The Aviator. Rated PG-13. Everywhere Friday, December 17th.
No enemy has ever withstood our might. I need a weapon.
Rated M for mature.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
this holiday season, put out the good stuff. Planters.
The True Value IROC Series about to go for the year 2000, and half the field have in-car cameras.
Starting 7th spot, Greg Ray has an onboard camera. Outside of the 3rd row, Jeff Gordon also has an onboard camera. Starting outside the 2nd row, Eddie Cheever, an onboard camera. Dale Earnhardt Jr. starting 3rd. Tony Stewart, outside pole sitter. And on the pole, last year's champion Dale Earnhardt with an onboard camera as he drives into the sun off turn 4.
Set to go 40 laps, 100 miles, $760,000 in purse money, and the race record held by Earnhardt set in 96 at 187.793. The pace car pulls off, and here we go. Set to begin the new millennium with the True Value International Race of Champions. And Earnhardt gets a good jump on Tony Stewart, who started alongside him. The inside row now has Dale Earnhardt and his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., nose to tail down in turn 1.
Cinch up those seatbelts, folks. This could get exciting.
Down the backstretch with Earnhardt now out ahead, and everybody else 2 by 2 behind him. That inside line trying to draft up, and now Stewart on the outside line gets a slight advantage going into 3, but basically they're just the way they were when they took the green flag through the east end of the banking.
And Junior literally pushed his dad to the middle of 3 and 4.
It will be Earnhardt, and Labonte, the first 3 across the line at the end of lap number 1, in the first lap at 162.643 for Dale Earnhardt. The colors of the cars are in the upper left as you see how they run.
Terry Labonte gets a great jump coming off 2, drives up on the outside of Earnhardt Jr. and a little bump from Greg Ray. Wow.
And now they're 3 wide at the end of the backstretch.
Oh, and they're still 3 wide, and the 12 car Rusty Wallace right in the middle. And I said Terry Labonte, obviously that's Bobby Labonte.
And Earnhardt is going to lead the 2nd lap, but Bobby Labonte was in the lead as they came off the corner, but he drops back. And now a challenge from Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he takes the lead. And being forced way up high is Labonte.
One of your open wheel drivers, Benny, up at the 2nd, Greg Ray.
Greg Ray has expressed some concern about this race. He simply has not had, of course, the drafting experience that these NASCAR Winston Cup drivers do. But he's doing okay, Ray.
100 miles here at Daytona, he's about to get it.
Ray, you worked on these IROC cars for many, many years. Just how do they get them as close as they are?
Well, that's a hard work, Benny, and it's something that Jay Signori and his guys have evolved. They keep records upon records. They build their own motors and match the horsepower. They build their own bodies and have special jigs for putting them together. Those cars are identically prepared as you could possibly get them.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads.
Greg Ray getting the challenge. As a matter of fact, he's moved back to 5th spot. He was 2nd when he crossed the line.
He's up on the high side of the racetrack and trying to get some drafting help from his fellow Northern Light Indy Racing League driver, Eddie Cheever, who's in that yellow car. But down the backstretch, here comes Tony Stewart showing some muscle again as Labonte now gets shuffled back. He's in the middle of the racetrack. Up on the high side is Rusty Wallace, who started back in the 12th position. That's the dark blue car. And at the line, it's Tony Stewart. Mark Martin has moved up to 2nd spot.
Mark Martin is so good at driving these IROC cars, and I really believe that is because he's so good at driving a Busch Grand National car. These IROC cars are a lot like a Busch Grand National. It's not surprising to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front like that.
Meaning they have about the same horsepower as a NASCAR Busch Series car.
About the same horsepower, same wheelbase. They're just a little bit smaller than a Winston Cup car, a little bit less horsepower.
That cream-colored car is being driven by Jeff Burton. He works his way up to 4th position in the battle with Greg Ray up on the high side of the racetrack. Now, once again, here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom side of the racetrack, down through the tri-oval. And once again at the line, it is Dale Earnhardt Jr., but Tony Stewart now takes the lead. And here comes Jeff Burton as Earnhardt Jr. is the meat in the sandwich into 1.
They were literally 4 wide there one time off of the tri-oval, and they're still 3 wide. Folks, this doesn't fit too good. They're going to try to go 4 wide down the backstretch.
And Jeff Gordon had 2 wheels below the yellow line down there in 1 and 2.
Gordon has dropped all the way back to the back of the field. Meanwhile, it's Jeff Burton leading. And the lime green colored car running in 2nd position is Dale Jarrett, who has come up from his 10th starting position. 3rd is Mark Dismore from the Northern Light Indy Racing League.
How about that run by Dismore?
Mark Dismore finished 3rd in the IRL points last year, won his first Northern Light Indy Racing League event at Texas Motor Speedway to close the season last year.
That's a battle back for about the 5th or 6th spot.
So leading here at the end of 6 laps, they will run 40 in the International Race of Champions. Jeff Burton is your leader, followed by Dale Jarrett, Mark Dismore, Bobby Labonte, and Eddie Cheever. We'll be right back.
Right after 3 premieres on ESPN, turn to ESPN Classic and call in live. Join Buddy Baker and NASCAR experts to talk about the movie and the legend of Dale. Classic Live, the Earnhardt movie, Saturday only on ESPN Classic.
Jason White, Matt Leinart, Adrian Peterson, Reggie Bush, Alex Smith. One will become part of history. Saturday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
You want to own a computer but have less than perfect credit, bad credit, no problem. If you have a checking account, a home phone, and can afford a payment of just $35 a week, Blue Hippo Funding says you're approved, guaranteed.
I'm Mike Jones, and I got mine.
You're approved for a brand new name brand computer. Your only qualification is a checking account, home phone, and a payment of just $35 a week for 12 months.
I got mine.
Your approval is guaranteed. If you can afford $35 a week for just 12 months and have an active checking account and a home phone, you're already approved. Guaranteed.
I got mine. Call right now and tell us where you want your brand new, brand name computer delivered. I got mine.
And if you call within the next 10 minutes, we'll include with your order a free upgraded monitor, a free web camera, and a free 1-year warranty and in-home tech support. Call now and get yours. Blue Hippo Funding says you're approved for the computer of your dreams. Guaranteed.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, IROC 24. underway here. We have 8 laps completed. Showing the way right now is Jeff Burton, who finished second here at Daytona in 1998, and also during that 1998 True Value IROC season, he won at Michigan. Dale Jarrett running in second position. That's Mark Dismore, Eddie Cheever, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. The top 5, and they have broken away just a little bit from the rest of the field.
And Burton and Jarrett started 10th and 11th in a 12-car field. Now they're leading.
That second pack is still trying to get the position sorted out as they go dancing back and forth, almost making contact.
Dale Earnhardt leading the second pack with Labonte and Stewart right behind him. Then comes Mark Martin, Greg Ray, Rusty Wallace, and Jeff Gordon having a bit of a struggle at the back of the pack, but so is Rusty Wallace.
Now, this is something you don't see very often. Jeff Gordon running dead last in a 12-car field.
No, he is a very good drafter, and you'll see, I think as the race goes on and those guys start to mix it up a little bit, both he and Dale Earnhardt Sr., people claim that those guys can see air, Benny, and I believe it.
Jeff Gordon in his 6th straight year of True Value IROC competition. Back up front, meanwhile, Burton continues to show the way. And now that second group has drafted up. And they're in single file formation through turn number 1 now. We have a couple of stock car guys at the front of the field, and then a couple of IndyCar racers. Mark Dismore running 3rd, followed by Eddie Cheever Jr. Jerry?
Bob, this is Eddie Cheever's second ever IROC Series event. Now, he finished 11th at Daytona and 8th at Talladega last year. I asked him what he learned from a year ago. He said, I learned a very valuable lesson. Last year, I drove my car toward every single opening. This year, I've learned by watching the tapes, I need to stay in line and not get excited when someone goes by me. Stay in line, be patient, stay in the draft, and I will gradually work my way toward the front as opposed to working my way toward the back as I did a year ago.
Mark Dismore just got shuffled back a few positions. We're on board there momentarily with Eddie Cheever. Now he goes to the inside. He goes from the high line to the low line and gets in behind Dale Jarrett.
We need those guys to keep mixing it up so Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon can catch back up.
Here comes Martin Martin. I thought he was out of the draft a moment ago, but here he is, battling for about the 5th position. That's the blue car on the bottom.
On board with Greg Ray, right behind Mark. Mark Dismore went from 3rd to almost the back of the field. But that's what happens in the draft. And again, Dismore is not all that experienced in the drafting game. Up front, Dale Jarrett will lead this lap. Eddie Cheever Jr. running 2nd. Then comes Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Burton side by side back there for 4th.
When you say side by side, you're exactly right. Just like they're lined up to run a 55-mile-per-hour pace lap. And they're doing this at about 180 miles per hour. Last lap, 182.
We might explain that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is officially a representative of the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. Of course, he is a candidate for Raybestos Rookie of the Year honors in the NASCAR Winston Cup Division in the year 2000. Look how close they are coming off of 4.
And it looks to me like Earnhardt Jr. really getting a lot of, he's down on the apron of the racetrack.
Cheever takes him way down low.
Wow.
And then you see that rubber strip that's on the front of the car? That's a very, very soft rubber that Jay Signori runs on the front of these things. The noses on these IROC cars are so low they actually scrape the racetrack.
Pontiac Firebirds in action here in IROC 24. Daytona International Speedway, the opening event of the season at the moment. With 13 laps completed, Dale Jarrett leads, and we'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
on the next 60 Minutes on Classic.
He's a king just like Elvis. He's a legend.
Back in 1988, Harry Reasoner sat down with racing legend Richard Petty when he was still king of NASCAR.
I'm in a unique position because I've been doing this 30 years.
Wait till you hear just how far he went to win.
When I had my neck broke, I shouldn't have been driving. I've driven with broke ribs. I've driven with broke feet.
An audience with the king. 60 Minutes on Classic, 8 p.m. Tuesday on ESPN Classic.
Sunday on ESPN Classic. He beat the best in the ring.
I got my turn to be the champion of the world.
But the toughest fight of his life
I got it.
was outside the ring.
I ain't nothing to you but a black, ugly fist here.
James Earl Jones.
All I got to do is to be black and die, lady.
Takes on the Great White Hope.
You look colored, but you ain't thinking colored.
Real Classics, 8 Eastern Sunday, only on ESPN Classic.
Oppressed and conquered by those we sought to escape. On this day we will spare no one.
Kill zone, rated M for mature.
Shave your beard, not your face. Introducing the new Norelco Cool Skin Shaver. Close as a blade with less irritation.
Do you believe someone is right for everyone? At Match.com, we don't just believe it, we know it. Come and get your love. Maybe that's why hundreds of thousands of men and women met their special someone here last year alone. Come and get your love. Join the millions of real people who come and get their love every day with Match.com. The future of love. Come and get your love.
It's the 21st century. Trade like it with Ameritrade. 21st century technology gives you an edge so you can work smarter. On the new Ameritrade website, built for traders by traders, you'll get tools like Quote Scope and Command Center Screen. You'll have your finger on the pulse so you can find and seize potential opportunities in any market. All for only $10.99 per trade. Sign up for Ameritrade today and get 30 commission-free internet equity trades. Innovative technology makes you smarter. It's the 21st century. Trade like it. Call 888-303-9778 today or go to ameritrade.com/start.
Race 1, True Value IROC 24 underway. Just moments ago, less than half a lap ago, that lime green car there on the inside, driven by Dale Jarrett, was at the front of the field. He's gotten shuffled back just a little. And Dale Earnhardt finds himself up front once again, being pursued by his son.
Moving around in all that traffic at 180 miles an hour. Unlike the Winston Cup cars, these guys have no spotters. They've got a little side mirror on the left side of the car, and that's it.
I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. really getting the kick out of intimidating his dad. Pulling up right on his back bumper. Really bump drafting, bumping him down the straightaways.
You know, a couple weeks ago, he got the opportunity to drive his father's car, and he said what a thrill it was. Imagine what a thrill it would be if he beat his dad here today.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., this is his second IROC season. He was involved in a crash here on lap 8 at Daytona last year. Started 4th, ended up in 10th position, and will never forget the closest finish in IROC history that occurred last year at Michigan when father beat Dale Jr. by 7 1/1000ths of a second. Here they are battling wheel to wheel once again, although Jeff Burton now slides up into the 2nd position, and Earnhardt suddenly goes back to a battle for 5th.
And he's in the middle of the 3 wide. He gets out of that pretty quickly down to the inside, but it's still 2 wide as Dale Earnhardt Jr. has the lead.
And as you can see, those guys mixed it up enough that allowed Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon to catch the tail end of that pack.
Jeff Gordon took it easy for the first 16 laps, but now may be ready to show some muscle. Down on this inside line, we have Dale Jarrett. And he and Earnhardt are door handle to door handle. That's Greg Ray on the inside. Eddie Cheever up on top. Mark Dismore is in the white car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will get credit for leading another lap. And his speed that lap was 181.218.
That's Jeff Burton, Tony Stewart, second and third. And here comes Dale Sr. Look at him blow by on the outside of Tony Stewart.
Dale Sr., when he runs up top like that, sometimes uses that banking to create momentum. He actually runs the car up the banking and then down, picks up speed.
Man, that was a big-time bump grab.
Man, I'm telling you. Cheever just gave Earnhardt a bit of a bump. That's Stewart down on the inside of Cheever, and Eddie decides to try to get down to the inside, but cannot. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead as they come down. Burton with the challenge once again in the cream-colored car. And some good drafting help from Dale Earnhardt may push Burton to the front.
Folks, these drivers are just fantastic.
And normally, Benny, by this time we see one, sometimes two drivers out of the draft, but Ray, not the case this year. Everybody's sticking right together.
They've done a great job. All the test drivers, Dick Trickle, Dave Marcus, Jim Sauter, they've worked hard getting those cars identical. And the IROC cars also do not have restrictor plates on them, and they are trimmed out much in a very, very big downforce mode. So they blow a big hole in the air, create a big wake, make it easy to draft behind.
3 wide through the tri-oval. Eddie Cheever is in the middle.
Now Cheever will go back home and look at his tape and say, how did I get in this situation?
So it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading over Tony Stewart, Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett, Greg Ray, and Dale Earnhardt. Those are the top 6 after 19 of 40 laps.
3. The ESPN original movie is coming.
I know that better than me.
But until then, greatness is right in your rearview mirror on ESPN Classic. All day today, a marathon of the best of Dale Earnhardt roars into your living room. For 3 days leading right up to the premiere of 3, we go full throttle with 3 whole thunderous days of the Intimidator. 3 Days of Dale continues all day today, only on ESPN Classic.
In the mood for something grilled? Stouffer's makes it easy with their succulent new grilled chicken entrees. A grilled herb-rubbed chicken breast seared over an open flame to seal in its juices and served with tender linguine and a medley of crisp vegetables tossed in a light tomato herb sauce. As for your grill, put it on ice. Stouffer's new grilled herb chicken, one of 4 new grilled chicken entrees from Stouffer's.
For the past few years, my mom has been the team mom.
Yeah.
She likes to knit a lot. She watches very closely what we eat.
Boys, what is this?
And of course, she makes sure we eat our Campbell's chunky soup, like new savory beef pot roast.
How about those big chunks of beef and veggies?
Our team's a family, and she's the mom.
Campbell's Chunky. It fills you up right.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, Ray Everett, Hammer Doctor, Jerry Punch. Dale Jarrett comes right up on that rear deck of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Greg Ray running well in third position. And Jerry Punch has more from pit lane.
Spoke with Greg Ray, the 1999 Indy Racing League champion. He said that this week, Jim Sauter, who's one of the test drivers, taught him a lot about these cars. Said, but primarily yesterday, he followed what he considers to be the most serious, most dedicated, most athletic race driver on the planet. That's a quote from Greg Ray, and that being Mark Martin. He said Mark Martin taught him about how to work the draft, and then yesterday afternoon, Rusty Wallace bumped him for an entire lap and taught him how stable the cars were. He learned a lot in one practice session he hoped to be able to use in this very first race.
Well, Greg Ray is an amazing story. He is 33 years of age and didn't start racing professionally until he was 25. He won 3 events in the Northern Light Indy Racing League last year and emerged as their champion. Down to complete lap number 23. Dale Jarrett now has the lead. Ray is in second. Well, he was in second. Jeff Burton goes to second position, forcing Greg Ray up high, and Dale Earnhardt will sneak by on the inside and bring with him Tony Stewart and others.
Well, Greg Ray squeezed off the throttle just a little bit, and look at the momentum that he loses. He's losing position after position as we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Jeff Burton on the outside and just blows by Jarrett Earnhardt along, and Tony Stewart going with them.
See what Dale Earnhardt will do there in that powder blue car, running in second position. He follows Jeff Burton off the corner. And this is looking back from Earnhardt's perspective to Tony Stewart, who started second. Now Stewart looks to the inside.
What a great view that was of the slingshot, Benny. You can see the car getting closer and closer, got the momentum, pulls out, and tries to make the pass. He's going to need a little help. Oh, now Rusty's coming up behind Dale Earnhardt Sr., and that should make him go a little bit faster.
So Jeff Burton out front now, and he sees behind him 2 by 2. He's trying to break the draft by going real low on the backstretch. So Jeff Burton is the leader at the moment. Dale Earnhardt running in second, then Stewart, Martin, Ray, and Earnhardt Jr.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
this holiday season,
yourself
put out the good stuff.
Christmas
Planters.
No enemy has ever withstood our might.
I need a weapon.
Rated M for mature.
Brilliant abs.
Ingenious abs.
These workout professionals know that science gives us a smarter, easier way to get tight, sexy abs.
Introducing the amazing new Ab Lounge, scientifically designed to make the crunches we know it a thing of the past. Ab Lounge gets you up off the floor, strengthening and toning your abdominals using the biomechanically advanced Ab Lounge Jackknife, proven in university testing to be better for your body.
It's as easy to do as a crunch, but the efficient Ab Lounge design makes every move really count, targeting your abs without wasted effort. And because Ab Lounge gets you up off the floor, you have a wider range of motion, allowing you to stretch beyond 180 degrees for ultimate results.
With the advanced science of Ab Lounge, you're not working harder, you're working smarter. You're not straining your neck and back with old-fashioned crunches. You're up off the floor in padded comfort, building a sleeker, sexier you, and taking off inches the smart way.
I have this one pair of jeans. After just 8 weeks, my fat jeans don't really fit anymore.
I lost 14 pounds. I also lost inches on my waist and went down 2 pant sizes.
Built with a rolled steel frame, the Ab Lounge can support up to 275 pounds. Custom foot pedals adjust to match your height, and it quickly folds in stores just about anywhere.
Ab Lounge is so easy, almost anyone can use it. With Ab Lounge, your head, neck, and back are always supported.
When you compare the Ab Lounge to a standard crunch, well, there just is no comparison.
The advanced Ab Lounge Jackknife generates up to 75% more muscle activity in the upper and lower abdominals, and an amazing 268% more in the love handle obliques.
Call now, and you can try the Ab Lounge in your home for a full 30 days. days for just $14.95.
Order today and we'll throw in the shipping for free.
If you don't agree that the Ab Lounge is the best way to tighten and tone your abs, just send it back within the 30 days for a refund of your $14.95. No questions asked.
What have you got to lose? Only the inches around your waist.
The NHL is on ABC. Regional coverage of regular season action begins on Saturday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Check your local listings for the game in your area. ABC Sports, the home of the Stanley Cup. 25 laps have been completed in the first True Value IROC race of the year 2000. I'm Bob Jenkins along with Benny Parsons, Ray Evernham, and Dr. Jerry Punch reporting from pit road and eventually victory lane. Jeff Burton is the leader. Dale Earnhardt running in second. Tony Stewart is third.
And we've got 3 cars that have lost the draft. Only 9 cars in this lead draft. Jeff Gordon, Eddie Cheever, and Mark Dismore. You ever see the 9 cars? There comes Gordon and Cheever and Dismore behind them.
They're going to have a tough time catching up if those guys stay lined up too, Benny.
And so the lone open wheel driver in the lead pack is Greg Ray, and he finds himself in 6th position. Here is the lead pack. Jeff Burton in the cream-colored car showing the way. And right now it's single file formation off corner number 2 down the backstretch.
Tony Stewart trying to get around. Earnhardt goes by, tries to get on the outside. He has some drafting help. I think that's Rusty Wallace that pulls up with him, and Earnhardt goes to the lead.
Rusty Wallace won the IROC race here in 1989. He was also involved in that lap 8 crash at Daytona here last year. Jerry Punch.
Although Dale Earnhardt is leading as they flash by this time, that is not where he would like to be. He told his crew that typically he would like to be running second and go for the lead within the last 2 laps. Remember, a year ago, he won 3 of the 4 IROC events, making a pass in the last lap and a half. He does not want to lead the last 4 or 5 laps. He wants to be running second with a couple to go, but unfortunately there, he was forced to make a move by Burton dropping off the draft.
The way these guys are running, he might not have to worry about leading too much longer.
No, that's right. Yeah, if he doesn't want the lead, he's certainly got some guys back there who will be more than glad to take it away from him.
Battle is for 4th position. That's Tony Stewart in the red car and Mark Martin in the medium blue. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who led several laps of this race, is right behind Tony Stewart. With a unique bird's-eye perspective, today's race is brought to you by the Bud One Airship and Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. This is Tony Stewart's bumper cam looking back on Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the green car and the Aqua Machine up high, driven by Greg Ray.
And you see the shadow, which means there's a car right beside of Tony Stewart. And that's Mark Martin. This is Greg Ray's view. Last lap, almost 181 miles per hour as they do it side by side, hitting the bumps, dancing around.
Our scoring information gives us the speed of these top 9 cars, and they vary from 180.65 to 180.72. Unbelievable. We'll be back with more of the opener for the year 2000 of IROC 24.
ESPN original movie is coming.
Ain't nobody better than me.
But until then, a marathon of the best of Dale Earnhardt roars into your living room. 3 Days of Dale continues all day today, only on ESPN Classic.
He beat the best in the ring.
I got my turn to be the champion of the world.
But the toughest fight of his life was outside the ropes. James Earl Jones takes on the Great White Hope. Real Classics, 8 Eastern Sunday, only on ESPN Classic.
A short time ago, this woman was limited by her mobility. A month ago, this man wasn't even able to get around his house. These are people who chose mobility, and they chose the scooter store. If you're living with limited mobility, call the scooter store today. I guarantee no other company will work hard to make you mobile. If we pre-qualify you for a new scooter or power chair and Medicare denies your claim, the scooter store allows you to keep your scooter or power chair at no cost. That's the scooter store guarantee.
I expected they'd help me file some paperwork with Medicare and my insurance. I never expected them to be so nice or to work so hard to get me a power chair at no cost to me.
You don't qualify for Medicare? No problem. We'll work with your insurance company, even help with financing. If there's a way, we'll find it.
Call the scooter store for free information today.
Call 1-800-543-8106 for free information. That number again is 1-800-543-8106.
The True Value IROC opener is underway at Daytona International Speedway. We have less than 10 laps to go, and Dale Earnhardt is the leader of the race with Rusty Wallace second and Jeff Burton running third. Mark Martin is fourth, and Greg Ray is in a battle for fifth position with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's Tony Stewart high behind Greg Ray.
Bobby Labonte right behind Stewart, and in the lime green car is Dale Jarrett, who was also up front for a while.
We'll start to see now what each driver's style has had effect on his car as the tire pressure starts to build up now and the tires wear a little bit, the track is slick. What they're going to try and do is turn the steering wheel as little as possible to try and keep the momentum up. I can guarantee you that Earnhardt's trying to keep that car exactly where he wants it so it doesn't abuse the tires.
Dale Earnhardt has 10 wins in the IROC Series. He is second on the all-time win list, just one behind Al Unser Jr., who has more victories than any other driver in the True Value IROC Series. If, of course, Earnhardt can win here today, he'll tie Al Unser Jr. And he's got 8 more laps to go as he comes down to complete lap number 32.
Right now that Rusty Wallace, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, I don't think these guys want to make a pass. I think they want to run right here and wait until that last lap and try to pass Dale Earnhardt. Exactly what Jerry Punch was talking about Earnhardt would like to do.
I believe you're right, Benny. And again, as I said, that they're letting their tires cool off. They're going to wait. They don't want to be in that position right now that Dale Earnhardt is. Now, Dale's going to have to do a lot of mirror driving to keep that position, but with that many cars behind you, it's an awful tough job.
Rusty Wallace running there in second position. His very first IROC victory was here at Daytona in 1989.
Looked like Greg Ray went down to make a move and then didn't have a partner, so he pulled back up in line.
He's learned already, hasn't he? Greg Ray hanging in there in fifth position as 33 are complete.
This is right along with Greg Ray. Currently running in fifth position as he watches those first 4 cars. There's Mark Martin right direct in front of him.
Oh, Mark Martin almost bumping Jeff Burton.
You see Earnhardt just a little bit higher. I really believe it's not that he wants to give up the bottom, but he just doesn't want to bind that car up by turning the steering wheel off.
Ray, you talked about abusing the tire. In other words, if you abuse the tire, the air pressure builds up in that certain corner, be it the right front or right rear, and that compounds the problem. It becomes worse and worse and worse.
That's exactly right, Benny. When you abuse the right front, you're not so much wearing out the tire, but you are building up the pressure, and that makes the car tighter. The tighter the car gets, the more RPM it drops off in the corner, and the slower it goes.
Jeff Burton taking a look for second spot, and he's got a gang of them with him.
And they may hang Rusty Wallace out to dry here. Burton, Martin, Ray, and Tony Stewart all go by Wallace up on the top side. And here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. also. So Rusty from second all the way back to the end of this 7-car draft.
And that's hard when you know you're running along good and you look in the mirror and say, hey, where did everybody go?
It looks like he may be losing the draft. Separated by a couple of car lengths. Well, up front, Dale Earnhardt, who has 5 wins here at Daytona. 92, 94, 95, 96, and last year. Well, if you like this, join us for the other 3 races in the True Value IROC 24. Next race here on ABC, April 16th from Talladega, Michigan, June the 10th on ESPN, and the finale from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on ABC, August the 5th at 4:30 Eastern Time.
Now, Dale Earnhardt's problems have compounded because running in 2nd and 3rd, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, who are teammates with Jack Roush in the NASCAR Winston Cup and work very closely. And I would think working very closely right now would be utmost on their mind to try to get by Dale Earnhardt.
And Benny, I think if they do team up, they might end up splitting them, because remember, he can only block 1 line of cars. It's going to be hard for him to hold the lead if those cars get into 2 lines.
Less than 4 laps to go. Greg Ray's car a little bit jittery there in the 3rd and 4th turns. Lap 37 is in the books. Earnhardt continues to lead. Jeff Burton 2nd, followed by Martin, Ray, Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Stewart trying to take the spot from Greg Ray, and Earnhardt Jr. slides up the racetrack.
Wow, Greg Ray almost lost that baby as he came off turn 2, but meanwhile, that's really helped Mark Martin and Jeff Burton as these cars run side by side. They don't have to worry about being attacked from the rear now. They can attack Earnhardt and not worry about losing position.
And Ray is going to get shuffled to the back of this draft, it would appear. It just takes that little. All right, now with just 2 laps to go, 5 miles of racing, can Dale Earnhardt start off the year 2000 with another win? He won 3 of 4 last year. The only race he didn't win was the finale at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway last year, but he did finish good enough to give himself the championship.
Now, with the momentum of Stewart and Earnhardt Jr., that could do nothing but help Mark. I think Mark's rolling back to those guys a little bit. As they catch him, they should help push Mark ahead.
Well, here comes the final lap, and Jeff Burton is making the move to the inside, and he's got help from Mark Martin. Here they come to the line. The white flag is in the air, and Burton leads the next to last lap.
Now Tony Stewart has jumped over the outside with Earnhardt and Earnhardt Jr. 5 cars.
5 cars in the battle to the checkered flag for the win here at Daytona. Earnhardt gets the advantage up high off the 2nd corner. Tony Stewart helping Dale Earnhardt up in that high line, and Earnhardt once again takes the lead down the backstretch and into turn 3. Tony Stewart and Jeff Burton running 2nd and 3rd. Are they going to be able to catch him? They come off of corner number 4. It would appear as if here comes Stewart taking a look to the inside, but no! Dale Earnhardt wins the opener of the True Value IROC Series for 2000, beating Tony Stewart, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And with that win, he ties Al Unser Jr. for most wins in IROC competition, 11.
You know, I just knew that Earnhardt was toast with coming down for the white flag when Burton and Mark Martin hooked up to go by him. How does he do that?
Well, as I said before, a lot of people say he can see air, and I believe he can, but one of the big factors there was the fact that Tony Stewart jumped on the outside line. That helped push Earnhardt on past.
Well, Dale Earnhardt won his first IROC race at Talladega back in May of 1990. And he has opened the new millennium 2000 with another victory, beating Stewart, Burton, Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, and Greg Ray.
Do you believe someone is right for everyone? At Match.com, we don't just believe it, we know it. Come and get your love. Maybe that's why hundreds of thousands of men and women met their special someone here last year alone. Come and get your love. Oh, yeah. Join the millions of real people who come and get their love every day with Match.com. The future of love. Come and get your love.
When I'm on the field, I want to perform at the top of my game. When I'm off the field, I want to do the same. That's why I use Red Zone deodorant. It's the longest lasting deodorant from Old Spice, and its scent lasts longer than the other guys, so you smell great all day. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. Hey, I don't always win, but that doesn't stop me from trying. Red Zone deodorant from Old Spice.
We should take a picture. Come on, everybody get around the tree, okay? Say cheese.
Take Grandma's hint. She wants a digital camera from Staples. And we make it easy with top brands, trained associates, and everything you need to bring your pictures to life.
Oh, get one with me and the dog. Just push here.
Staples, that was easy.
Dale Earnhardt, the 7-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion, continues to win in the True Value International Race of Champions, driving to victory at Daytona International Speedway once again and winning his 11th race overall. This was the 17th IROC race that has been won from the pole. It had not been done since Al Unser Jr. did it at Michigan in 1995 until today, and the champ emerges. Down to victory lane, here's Jerry Punch.
And here's a news flash. Dale Earnhardt in victory lane at Daytona, getting a big hug from wife Teresa. Dale, congratulations. Les Richter going by with that big cup. Dale, congratulations. Your 6th win at Daytona, 2 years in a row. But this year you didn't wait to the final lap to lead.
Well, I knew Jeff Burton and Mark Martin were going to try to do something. He did me just like Mark did me, but he did it a lap too soon. And Tony Stewart and I hooked up. Dale Jr. was behind him. We got to drafting, and we come back by him off of 2, and I got by them all, and then we just had to race Tony back to the start-finish line. It's great. I thought they was going to get me. I thought they was going to do the same thing to me that I did to Mark last year, but it was more players that involved this year than there was last year.
Now, early on, you and Junior hooked up in a draft, and then the young man didn't respect his elders. He moved to the inside and hung you out to dry.
Yeah, he did. He's a racer. He wants to go to the front. He wants to stay in front, and I can't blame him a bit for that. I want to thank True Value and DuPont and Goodyear and everybody that supports these IROC series. It's a good series. Jay Signore and all the guys do a great job with it, but all the sponsors, I want to thank them, Pontiac and everybody.
With this win today, you tie your buddy Al Unser Jr. for the most wins in IROC with 11 career victories.
That's pretty awesome. You know, if you run in it long enough, you can win a race or two. What do you think, DJ? Where's you at, man?
I was pushing you.
I know. You're back behind that red car. I seen you.
Me and
Thank
Stuart.
you.
Yeah, me and Stuart got to run. We didn't know which way to go, so I said, well, Dad's up there by himself, so I better get up there and help him some. Stuart said, hell, we'll join in too.
Burton did the same thing to me that I did to Mark off of 2, but he did it a lap off of 4, but he did it a lap too soon.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoving and pushing and shoving out there, but it's fun. I mean, these cars, that's a pretty good car.
Now, early on, you went by Dad here. You were drafted a while and decided you were going to go ahead and hang him out.
I was trying to stay behind him, but you know, you got 4 or 5 of them actually running in the back of you on the back straightaway. It's kind of hard not to. I mean, you won't spin him out or go on the inside of him. So I went ahead and went on the inside of him. I knew he'd work his way back up there with no trouble. He always does. But I figured if I had a chance to win, I had to stay around front.
All right, Earnhardt Jr. and Sr. in victory lane as Dale Earnhardt Sr. gets his 11th IROC victory and 6th at Daytona. Bob?
And our congratulations to Dale Earnhardt. Well, the oval is tough and tricky at Phoenix International Raceway. Can Scott Goodyear repeat as champion, or will someone else take the checkered flag? The Northern Light Indy Racing League, Sunday live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, here on ABC.
ESPN Classics 3 Days of 3 is presented by Martin Scorsese's The Aviator, in theaters everywhere this Christmas.
No enemy